How did you get started with YouTube?
So I started in college, my freshman year of college. I was at RPI, which is upstate. It's Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. So I was going there thinking, I'm going to do pre-med, I'll probably go to medical school. And although I think I still would have liked that route, I was like, I have this creative side. Ideally, I would like to pursue this more. So I decided, hey, I'm going to do this on top of college. I've always wanted to make videos. I used to make them when I was like 12, 13. Like I've had my YouTube channel since then and like would post here and there, but never actually like fully committed to it until I was in college. And then I did that alongside my like biology degree for 3 years until my junior year of college, when I finally decided like I'm gonna probably do YouTube full time afterwards, and then I switched over to business my last year and graduated with a business degree.
Really?
Yeah, which is really funny. But
at any point did you want to drop out and just like
for
like
sure.
go 100% YouTube?
For sure. Like my sophomore year, I would talk to my parents like, I need to drop out. And they were like, no, you gotta stick through this. Like they really wanted me to have this kind of like fallback, I guess,
Sure.
just in case, or just like more traditionally, I think they just want me to like have my degree. Just be like, she graduated college.
Yeah, sure.
And I think I didn't like necessarily need to go to college, but I really enjoyed college still, and I think it taught me a lot of discipline. And also I think from like a YouTube standpoint even, it was more exciting for me to like show my classes, and I would do videos where like I wear certain outfits to school, so it gave me more things to do. And I kind of miss having that structure a little bit now that I'm out of college, actually.
Yeah. But what prompted you to first start making videos? Like why did you start?
First?
Yeah.
So when I like first made videos, I was probably like 12, 13, and it was that era of YouTube where beauty gurus were like popping off. I don't know if you know Bethany Moda, but she was like one of, really?
No.
She was like one of like the biggest beauty gurus at the time, and I loved her videos, and I was like, oh, I just like want to do something similar. Like I love to like show like what I'm packing for a trip or just things like that, and I just really looked up to her at the time, so I feel like that's what kind of got me into it initially.
Were your parents hesitant about you like
Yeah.
YouTube at like 12, 13 years old?
12,
Absolutely,
13?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like 6th, 7th grade.
I know, yeah. That's why, I mean, that's why I didn't ultimately like continue it. I think I made
Yeah.
like 10 videos, and
Did
then
your parents know about that though?
They
Or were
did.
Oh, they did. And were they okay with you posting videos online?
my mom was kind of like, like, this is kind of sketch, like random like old men can watch your videos,
Yeah.
like, but yeah, mostly it just, I don't know, it got in the way of school. I had my sports, and then I just kind of like fell off until I later decided that I wanted to. But even then, initially, my parents were still like, hey, shouldn't you be focusing on like your classes and like your medical, like all of that stuff? So yeah, but now they're very proud. I think they just didn't like understand like initially like that YouTube could be a job, and I mean I low-key didn't even know that either. I was just doing it because I thought it was fun. But now they're like my biggest supporters of it ever.
So what sort of videos were you making in college?
In college, I made a lot of like hauls, actually. I think that's what started my channel, and that's what kind of like brought people to my channel because they were more searchable. So I would do like, here's like a spring haul, or like a haul from like a specific brand. My first video that like ever popped off was a Vans collection video, actually. So I showed like all my shoes. That was my first video to hit 1 million views, and I think that's like what kind of like kickstarted everything.
What's the appeal to watching a haul video? Because for me, like, I'm thinking like if I'm perusing the YouTube algorithm and I see something like my spring haul, I would
I know.
like, I don't know if that's something I would really like be super enticed. I mean, maybe I'm probably
Maybe
just not the
bikini
target.
haul, yeah.
That I might like. No, I'm kidding. That's jokes. So what is the appeal to something like that? Because I'm sure you probably consume that content.
Yeah. So, I mean, even now, I think there was a time and a place where hauls were really popular. I don't think at the moment they're super popular anymore. But the reason why I think people would watch them is because they would be like, oh, I'm going to buy things from like Princess Polly, for example, like, and then you can go on a haul and see what someone else bought off that website that like looked good, and you can see it worn on a person, and then you can kind of go, oh, actually, like I'm gonna add that to my cart.
Just shopping purposes.
It's literally for just shopping purposes, pretty much. But what I did actually was I used to film my hauls with my siblings, because I would watch hauls and be like, actually, these are really boring, because like low key, like a haul like is kind of boring, and I was like, I want to like do hauls that are fun, that people also just watch like just because they're a fun video. So I would do hauls that like had my siblings in them and like were really like, we would just be like messing around. Like it would be kind of like a vlog, but like centered around like occasionally like showing pieces, which is like a really interesting setup, but like that is how I like started my channel though originally. And I haven't done that same structure in a long time, but that's like how I started.
How much did you make from the video that did 1 million views?
At that point, I was not monetized, so I made nothing. And when I actually started YouTube, they were kind of like updating the partner program terms. So I remember I grinded YouTube for like a full year, like 3 videos a week, and I never got paid until I was like a year or more into YouTube, like probably over 100K subs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you got 100,000 subs in your first year doing YouTube?
Yeah.
What was the motivation to keep going when you weren't making any money from it? And you were in college as well, so I'm assuming it was probably a pretty like intense schedule.
Yeah. I literally think it was just like something in me was just like self like discipline to be like, you like told yourself you're gonna do this, like you better do it. Like, or I remember when I started in college specifically, like Emma Chamberlain was popping off, so she was definitely like another like inspiration for me. I was like, oh, like I love her vlogs, like I feel like I could do something similar. I remember like watching her videos and being like, I'm gonna start YouTube in the first year, I will get 300,000 subscribers. And like that didn't happen, but like I came a third of the way. So yeah, and I think also like the community and comments and having people kind of like uplift you definitely like pushes you to keep posting as well.
So how much were you making at the time you graduated college?
At the time I graduated college, I mean I was making enough to decide, hey, I'm gonna be full-time. I rented out my own apartment. I'm like trying to think of exactly how much I made. I would say as a creator, like the amount you make is like pretty exponential for the most part, especially like as you're initially growing. But definitely 6 figures by the time that I graduated college.
Impressive. So there's no desire at all to like get a job or take Did your parents pressure you at that point to be like, well, you could still just, you know, pursue medicine?
No. Sometimes my mom will still as a joke be like, medical school? I'm like, I'm good, Mom. But no, at that point they were like, if what's working is working, then like keep doing what you're doing.